Here the next topic is operator overloading. In C++ we have operators for performing like addition operation, multiplication operation, subtraction operation or conversion operation, increment operator, new operator and delete operator. For various things there are operators available in C++. And these operators are meant for some specific data types. So there are some built-in operators on built-in data types, primitive data types available in C++. Like addition can be performed on integer type data or float type data or so on. So if we are defining our own data type, like if I am writing a class called matrix, then can I write an operator for adding two matrices? Let us say A and B are two matrices and I want to get the result C. So can I overload this operator? Yes, this plus operator can be overloaded for a matrix class. So for our own data types, that is user defined data types, we can overload this operator. So there are various operators that you can overload in C++ except few of them. So let us learn how to overload these operators. Let us take an example of a complex number. In mathematics, we have a complex number that is written in the form of a plus ib, where this is called as a real part and this is called as imaginary part. What is imaginary in this one is I is root of minus 1, square root of minus 1. So square root of minus 1 is undefined. So we call that part as imaginary. So anything multiplied by imaginary number becomes an imaginary number. And this is a real integer or float number. So if I represent a complex number, let us say 5 plus 7i and 2 plus 9i. Then if I have two complex numbers, we can add them by adding the real parts separately and imaginary parts separately. So we got this as addition of two complex numbers. If I say this is complex number C1 and this is C2, then the result I got here is C3, which is C1 plus C2. So yes, we can perform addition on two complex numbers. So the same thing I want to achieve programmatically, that I want to have a plus operator overloaded. So let us write a class for complex number and see how we can overload addition operator, plus operator. So here I write a class for complex numbers, class complex, private members. I'll take real and imaginary as members. Then in public, first of all, I will write a constructor that is complex, which will take two arguments, real and imaginary. So let us make these arguments as default arguments, that is 0 and 0. Means if nothing is passed, they will take the values 0. And here real assign R and imaginary img assign this I. So this is a default argument constructor. So it works as a parameterized constructor as well as a non-parameterized constructor. Now let us overload addition operator. For learning operator overloading, we have to learn two things. First is how to write a function. And the second thing, what should be the signature of a function. So signature of a function I will show you afterwards. First, let us see how to write a function. So I will write one function for adding two complex numbers. See, if I have three complex numbers, complex C1 having values 3, 7. So 3 is real part and 7 is imaginary part. Then complex C2 and this is 5 and 4. And also I have complex number that is C3 without any arguments, means it will be 0, 0. Now assume this is inside main method. Now what I want is C3 assign C1 plus C2. Now the question is, addition should be done, but who will do this addition? C1 object of a complex class, C2, C3, all are objects of complex class. Now this addition, who should do it? So instead of writing plus, I will make a change here. Instead of saying plus, see, I will say C1 dot add, there is a function add, which will take C2 as a parameter. So who is going to add them? C1 is going to add. And who is as an argument? C2 is an argument. See, suppose I have some cash, I have some money with me, and you also have some money with you. Now we want to add. Now who should add this? I also know how to add, and you also know how to add. So if I want to add, I should take money from you as a parameter, and my money is there with me only. I will add total this. Or else you take my money, you know how to add it, so you take my money as parameter and you add it. So either you add it or I will add it, right? Any one of us will add this amount. So same way, who will add complex number? C1 will add by taking C2 as argument, or C2 will add by taking C1 as argument. So it can also be written like this: C3 assign C2 dot add, C1 will be taken as a parameter. So I will show you how to write this function. So here I will write down function name is add. Okay, function name is add. Then what is the parameter it is taking? C1 or C2, anyone. So it's a complex number. So complex C, or let us call it as X, a different name. Then after adding, what it should do? It should return a result that is a complex number. Next complex number. So the return type is also complex. Yes, this becomes the signature of a add function. Now how it will add? Inside this we will take some temporary complex number for getting the result temp. Then now this is a temporary variable for adding two numbers and storing the result there. So first is temp dot real should be equal to its own real dot x dot real, and temp's imaginary img will be its own imaginary and x dot imaginary. So this plus, sorry, imaginary. Now here two real parts are added and two imaginary parts are added, and the result is stored in temporary variable. Then the result is return temp. That's all. This is a function. Now let us understand how this is working. See, when I call, let us take this example. I'll remove this example. C1 dot add C2. So this add function is called upon C1, and C2 is going as parameter. So as we have three objects here, so I will draw them. C1 is having 3 and 7. C2 is having 5 and 4. Now C3 is there, which is empty now. Now let us understand it's working. See, C2 is going as parameter. So what is this X? This is called as X there. So actually the C2 is not passed. The value of C2 is passed there. So the same object goes there, and X is this one. Then here a temporary variable is created. So this is a temporary variable, another complex number. Then temp dot real assign real plus X dot real. Temp's real, this part, is assigned with real. So whose real it is? See, this is called upon C1. So C1's real. Just real means C1's real. Then plus X dot real. So who is X? C2 is passed as X. So this real. So 3 plus 5 are added and stored in temp's real. So this is 8. Now the next statement is img plus x dot img. So first img, this one, whose imaginary it is? It belongs to the object on whom we have called this function. So we have called that function upon C1. So that img belongs to C1. Then x dot img, that is imaginary. So x is this one, C2 we are passing it as parameter, so it's imaginary. They are added and the result is stored in temps imaginary. So these two are added and it is stored here. Then the last line is return temp. So this object is return and it is return is copied in C3. So this becomes 8 and 11. So these two are added. Who is adding this one? C1 is adding these two. So when C1 adds, it says real plus x dot real, right? And imaginary plus x dot imaginary. This is how it is adding, and the result is stored here in temp, and this is returned back and the result is copied in the C3. So this is how addition is done. That's it. So this logic is important. How to write the function is important, right? I'll change something and show you. Instead of C1, if I write C2 here and C1 here, then this function will be called upon this object and this becomes x, right? And real and imaginary means these values, and x dot real and x dot imaginary means these values. So this is just like I have shown you that either you add the money or I will add the money. It is just like that. Either the function can be called upon C1 or it can be called upon C2. So understanding the logic was one important thing, so I have finished it. Now let us see how to make it as operator overloading. Add function we already have. Now this function we want to convert it into an operator. So how to do that I'll show you. Now instead of writing like this, I want to write like this: C3 assign C1 dot operator plus C2. So what is this? I have changed the name of function add to operator plus. So instead of add, can I write this operator plus? Yes. Here I can write operator plus. Operator, so there's no space, I'll just make some space here, operator plus. So this is complex. You can convert into operator plus. Now how to call? Do I have to call like this? No, I don't have to call like this. I can say C3 assign C1 plus C2. So it will look for this operator plus, and the operator plus function is available here. So this function will be called. So instead of writing add, a dot add, so you don't have to use a dot operator, you can simply add two complex numbers, just how you add two integers and two floats. So that's it. This is the way of overloading operators. So C3 assign C1 plus C2, this function will be called, that is operator plus function will be called. So I have explained you through this add function, then I converted into an operator. Now we don't have this function anymore. We have changed the name to operator plus. So instead of writing dot add, you can just write plus and it acts as operator on complex numbers. So that's it. So you can practice this one. I will show you, I will demonstrate how to write down this program and execute it.